Hey,
Breezy,
gritty, this that 9 to
Mo's nose.
PG,
Fair to go. It's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, peachy, breezy, and fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to talk. We two gorilla, silverback, 9 silver
You know it's
hawks.
busting the discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's nose, and fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
We outline players up in chalk.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Line is tall. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
Yeah, boy. 3-0, baby. The 49ers are 3-0. They defeated the New York Giants. We celebrating. We gonna drink tonight. I am. We gonna have some fun. We gonna talk about this sloppy ass game. Was this win more ugly or less ugly than the win last week in LA?
Oh, that's a really good question.
The score was more lopsided in our favor in this one, but
yeah. I mean, I would say this one was a little less ugly.
It didn't seem like watching this game. It didn't seem like the Niners had their bearings greased up early.
Yeah. It didn't seem like we had full control.
But it's a win, though, right?
Win is a win is a win.
It is.
Kyle just didn't go into his playbook. He just didn't he just didn't care. It was a short week. He just went out there winging it. I mean, that's pretty much what it was. That's why it was so close, because Kyle he was literally out there he didn't do any kind of special motions, movements, none of that stuff. He didn't do none of that stuff. He was just out there, just, anything goes. Let's just run around a little bit and get this win. And that's pretty much what he was doing.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I saw plenty of motions. Brock was off. Let's just talk about it. That's what it was. Brock seemed off at the beginning, and as long as the Giants kept sending pressure, it was tough for him to adjust. But when the Giants wasn't sending the pressure, Brock was able to attempt those throws down the field, which is something we talked about earlier. So there's a lot of zero blitzes in this game, though. At one point, I don't know what it is now. I don't know if we could look it up, but at one point going into the fourth quarter, the Giants blitz on 80% of the plays, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yep.
So I get why it was throwing Brock off, but it just seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed like Brock's energy was a little different at the beginning of the game. The first throw was behind, one of the throws, it was behind Deebo Samuel, and Deebo's leading his guy. He's in front of his guys, but he throws it behind him. Then he had a couple of interceptable passes that were dropped, you know what I'm saying? And then he had some nice dimes, too. Brock finished well, right? First 300-yard game this year. Got to give him his kudos. And he finished 25 for 37, right?
Right, yeah, that's not bad.
But 37 times? We threw the ball almost 40 times? Mm-hmm. That ain't Kyle Shanahan.
It's not. I'm not understanding that game plan. 25, 37. Listen, he's right around his Brock Purdy is habitually a 68%.
Oh, yeah.
Completion percentage. 25 or 37 is 67.5. You round that up, that's 68%. So, he's right at what his average is supposed to be. So, throwing the ball 37 times. And maybe that's a response to all the blitzing. I'm not going to hand the ball off when I know they're sending a blitz, because we're not going to get any yards. We'll be better passing, because with them sending extra guys, hopefully that's a one-on-one matchup. And Kyle trusts his guys more than he respects the defense. Not that he's disrespecting the defense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But if I get the ball into Debo's hands, if I get the ball into Kittle's hands, if I get the ball in CMC's hands, I trust them to break a tackle and to get me extra yards. And we saw that a lot tonight. Then just handing it off to CMC or Mitchell when I know they're bringing 6.
What was your favorite play? We'll go around the board. What was your favorite play from Brock Purdy? Favorite play, favorite throw from Brock Purdy?
I thought you were going to say from the game. I do have a favorite play in the game as a whole. My favorite play from Purdy was the touchdown to Ronnie Bell.
Yeah,
because he threw that with anticipation. I think there was a blitz coming,
absolutely.
So he had to get rid of the ball quick.
Mm-hmm.
And Ronnie Bell wasn't completely out of his break yet, and he threw a perfect ball for Ronnie Bell. That as soon as he turned out of his break, got his head around, he was able to catch it, get 2 feet in. That would probably be my favorite play from Purdy.
I think what amplified that play for me, not because it was to Ronnie Bell. If you go back and watch it, it was what happened. First of all, it was a bad snap. It was low to the ground. There was a 0 blitz, and we've seen, not trying to compare him to Jimmy Garoppolo, but that was our quarterback before Brock. And we seen Jimmy, remember he did that same thing, and it was an interception. Like, you know what I'm saying? Same play, different receiver, and it's 0 blitz, right? And so, like, regardless of how Brock, started, he finished well. Peachy, that's something you always say. It's not about how you start the race, it's how you finish the race. And that's what Brock did, right? 25 for 37, 310 yards, 2 TDs with the 111.3 rating, 0 turnovers, was sacked a couple of times. Peachy, do you have another Brock play that wooed you?
I actually... I know I like the one that he had to Debo, but the one to Jennings, again, was really, really good. That was probably my favorite. Because they just keep on having that connection.
On that third down?
On
that
the third down,
Jennings?
Yeah. Yep, that was mine.
I think my favorite play, which was an incomplete pass, was the throw to Christian McCaffrey. And had McFadden not been like falling with his hands going down, that was another touchdown.
Yeah. McFadden was balling tonight, though.
He balled tonight. That dude had 150 tackles.
Yeah, he balled. He balled.
Yeah.
He was literally like the whole team. Like he was doing everything
on the defense, right? Like he was everywhere.
On the defense, like he literally was like the defense. It was crazy.
But if he didn't get his hands to go downwards, that was a touchdown. It was in McCaffrey's hands. McCaffrey's trying to bring it in to tuck it in, and his hands went and knocked it out. So look, regardless of how Brock looked early, I think he kind of shook off the jitters. I don't care what y'all saw. He had jitters in the beginning and shook him out. And this is that type of stuff I was talking about. Like, this is why I said I wanted to see him. If he was going to get an interception, get it early. Let's get it out your system, dog. But Brock just broke a record. So we got to talk about the record that he broke, right? Because he's the first quarterback to win, what is it 8 consecutive straight games?
8 straight.
Yo.
Regular.
Yeah.
Yep.
Regular season. Yo, Brock is cool, calm, and motherfucking collected, yo. And he doesn't have to be an elite quarterback. He doesn't have to be that. But I feel like his skill, his his ability, the it factor, I feel like that's elite, and that's all we need. I'm gonna throw it in the ground. Let's play. Oh, it's 3rd and 13. Don't worry, we'll get a first down. I trust my receivers. Oh, it's 3rd and 15. Don't worry, we'll just throw a screen and get the blockers out there. He doesn't fluster if there's a mistake made earlier on the downs and distances. They run for 2 yards. They get negative yard. It's an incomplete. Brock just flips the next page. What we doing next, coach? All right, coach, cool. And maybe Kyle's got his guy. Maybe that is the difference between us now and us, a year ago with the other quarterbacks. Kyle feels confident in allowing Brock to just run this particular type of offense. Right. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's evident when he's getting zero blitzed all day, and you have him throw for 37 times.
80%.
You know what I'm saying? So, without bringing up any other quarterback that we've had here in his tenure, the trust level with Brock is higher than anyone else that he's had.
Yeah.
We're not going to point out one.
Right.
Any other quarterback that has been on this team since Kyle Shanahan has been our head coach, there has not been this level of trust.
He tried. I will say that Kyle thought those guys would be that.
Yeah.
And he tried. Would you say that
really
Brock Purdy
it.
is okay? So, because I like what Manny's saying. Manny Chance, what's going on, fam? He says he's playing elite. Do you feel Brock is playing elite?
While it may not look like it, while it's not, 32 of 37 for 450 yards and 5 touchdowns, 25 of 37 for 310, 2 touchdowns and 0 picks.
Just that's
not easy.
That's not. It's
Zach Wilson not doing that.
And then factor in the context too, right?
Justin Fields not doing that. They complaining about is Justin Fields the problem or is the offensive coordinator the problem? So like it may not look like what we think elite is because it's not numbers that either Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes might put up. But he's operating the offense. He's throwing for 300 yards. He's not turning the ball over. And no matter what, every single time this guy starts and finishes the game, we're putting up 30 points.
30 points.
He has some elite traits and he has some elite plays, but he also has some dumbass boneheaded plays. It's late and I'm going to keep it real. He does still have some boneheaded stuff. So I'm not going to say that he's playing elite. I'm going to say that he has some elite plays and elite things about him that he is. And I believe that his elite traits will shine through more as the season goes on because, I mean, he's not played that many games.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that. But he does have some mental farts. And we can't do that against Dallas. And that's all I'm going to say. Like, there's no, like you just can't do that. I'm sure Kyle is going to tell him the same thing.
It's a totally different scheme. Totally different. Than like I've never seen a team blitz this much, and Dallas can try to do that, but that's not them. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that the Giants came in here with nothing to lose, Peachy. Like they can't. We ain't got no running back. We ain't got this. We ain't got that. You know what we're gonna do on defense? We just gonna throw the kitchen sink at them. If Dallas did that and we played this level, we beat them too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then Dallas, they're going to be like, damn, like, we threw the kitchen sink at them, and they still beat us with mediocre kind of sort of play. And I didn't think this was mediocre play we watched. It was just like a weird vibe. But it started to pick up. Like, they made adjustments. And it started to pick up. The offense started to pick up. The defense started to tighten up.
Yeah. But what I was going to say, that's why I kept saying that I just don't feel like that Kyle went in his bag that much for this game because it really didn't look like that he broke a sweat to do anything in here. It looks like he just rode with what was out there and, whatever happened. And when it looked like it was getting out of hand, he may have dug in a little bit and pulled something out. But I guarantee you that Kyle is not trying to show these other teams that we got to play, especially Dallas and other places, like our new stuff that we have that's on offense because I'm sure that Kyle, as smart as he is, I'm sure he has like a bunch of plays for these other teams that we have to play. And I just feel that's why, I don't know if maybe that might be the reason why that it didn't look as good as it probably should have. And maybe that's why I think that Brock didn't look as good as I thought that he should have because it was basically Kyle just wanted to just run the football until they managed to find a way to slow it down. And then once they found a way to slow it down, then he wanted Brock to throw. That's kind of what happened. I mean, we ran McCaffrey and Debo and Mitchell and basically just trying to run the football, just run the football, just run the football. And because he was trying not to do that. And I just feel like, watching football as long as I have, it just seems like that it was kind of vanilla. That there was a lot of vanilla things out there. It was just, whatever you already knew. Because it's a short week. And your installs, will take place during this, 10-day period that you have before you play again. So maybe if he hadn't done that, then maybe Brock would have looked better. Because maybe that just had something to do with it. Because the whole energy of the game was just off. Like, it was just weird. It was very, just lackluster. But it did pick up. And our defense picked up, just like you guys said. Our defense picked up. Everything picked up. And then we look like the 49ers that's number one in the NFL. And why that the Giants knew that they mentally had no shot of doing anything. We had touchdown, we left points on the board. We could have probably beat them by 40, 45.
Yeah, we say that,
that
every week though. That's an every week thing.
So yeah, but I'm just saying, that we did leave points on the board.
Yeah, we do that all the time. Every week we get into the red zone and we don't convert into a touchdown, and that's leaving points on the rest. So that's something that the Niners got. And to me, that's the one thing I would say that the Niners got to fix on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
their red zone offense and their red zone defense. Yep. I'm tired of the defense getting into the red zone and then giving up a big ass run. They did that last week to Kyron Williams, and they did it again to Matt Breida. Come on. Just because off of a penalty, you forgot that there was still another down off the penalty. These are the little things that the Niners got to kind of tweak. And you know what? The good thing is it's still early, right? It's still early. One more game, one more week will be a quarter through the season. So it's still relatively early. So I'm not too worried because they still beat the snot literally out of the Giants. I mean, like you said, they left points on the board, but I just feel like the Niners, I would like for them to come out more on point. And I feel like the first two games from the offensive side, they just seemed more in a rhythm. And I think that's what you're alluding to, right? They just seemed more in sync. The energy was good. They were able to move the ball and get touchdowns. This game, they moved. What was the first drive was 15 plays, but it resulted in 3 points. So
our time of possession
double that. Yeah,
didn't match. What was going on. Somebody had said right after the game that the score is nowhere in indicative of how much that we pretty much had control of the game.
Yeah, but then you got to factor in the penalties and the dumb shit.
Yeah, that's
right.
True.
So you got to factor in that, and that changes the game. I know people ain't that stupid. So, yeah, for almost 40 minutes of football for the 49ers, 39 minutes and 10 seconds to the Giants, 20 minutes and 50 seconds, 78 offensive plays to their 46 offensive plays. We had 441 total offensive yards. Ask me how many offensive yards they had. 150. So I get why we feel like the score doesn't reflect the stats. But let's go to the penalties. Because every time we had 6 and here's the thing. Both teams, 6 penalties. How even is that? Second time in the week that we actually tied for the number of flags thrown. Now, there were several plays. I felt like there was at least 2 plays that things offset in this game. So then it would have been 8 and 8. But look, 71 yards for the Niners, 37 yards for the New York Giants. But to me, it was when those penalties happen. And so it kind of, all right, so let's go to that drive where they scored their touchdown. Let's go to the Matt Breida drive. Because the first penalty was on what, special teams?
Yes.
And that was on John.
John
Charles.
No, John Charles was the interference. Trace Swilling was the first one.
Yeah. Swilling was the first one.
No. I'm talking about that led to those points. So it was the interference
that was the one
first.
On Swilling.
I thought it was the interference first.
That came later.
Okay. You sure?
Yes.
Because I thought it was. Yes, it did come later. No. I'm right. Bam. That play right there. Isn't that the play that set us? No, you're right. It was the Trey Swilling because that was the one that set us up at the end zone, in our own end zone.
Right.
Right. And then we couldn't get nothing going. Then we had to punt the ball.
Yep.
And then boom. And then Diamador Lenore, which to me was like
that wasn't a pass interference.
I didn't think it was PI.
I will stand on that because
it was ticky tack.
They're way down the field. Why is Darren Waller able to swim move off of him to get in better position? So if he can hand check and swim move around the Amador Lenore and change Lenore's position, how come Lenore can't just put his hand up based off of the redirection of the receiver? You want him to get his head around, but the receiver redirected him. And Darren Waller was handsy all night because he got away with an offensive PI later in the game against Isaiah Oliver because he pushed off hands fully extended and they called nothing.
They just freaking refs wanting the game to be close and not be craziness and try to stop it from getting out of control. It's just ridiculous because that was so ticky-tack on Lenore. Like, give me a break. But nobody wants to talk about Bosa being held and Hargrave, being held and stuff. Nothing
Bosa
was called,
held,
none of that.
Hargrave was held. I saw one. Obviously you can't grab outside the shoulder pad.
Right.
Somebody grabbed Drake Jackson and spun him completely around in the 360. No flag thrown.
I never know what holding is anymore unless it's the 49ers. Like that.
Exactly.
Exactly. Unless it's us, I don't know what holding is. I can't define it. It's all subjective, but when the Niners do it, they make it clear.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But look,
brought out in the limelight.
Let's have some fun. Let's talk about the now people. I guarantee you, the talking heads of the NFL, they're going to be talking about the Trent Williams punch and how he should have been ejected. But last time and technically to the ruling, yes, but so should had the defensive player who uppercutted him under the chin before Trent threw the punch. I don't think people could see it because it happened so fast. Right.
And I think the ref saw it. That's why
which is why he didn't.
And usually they always say they get the second guy, but that's because they don't see the first guy.
Yeah. I think that he saw all of it, and I think that's why he
just let it go.
Offset.
Right. But technically, to the ruling, they should have been ejected.
They both should have been.
Yeah, both.
You're right.
Right. But I wanted to. But the word and the narrative is that Trent Williams should have been ejected.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I want people to understand. Well, if he was going to be ejected, then so should have the defensive lineman that punched him underneath the chin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like you said, I think the refs knew what happened. They saw that ref saw what happened and just let it go, offset the penalties, which didn't affect the teams at all. They just had to replay it down.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So I just want to put clarification because that's out there. People gonna be, oh, Trent can now you can punch. Why? I promise you on tomorrow, you could punch people in the face mask. They'll clip out the first part.
Oh, of course.
And it'll make Trent look like a bad guy.
Listen, it's already up on ESPN. I got ESPN
it's already started.
now,
like
Jeez.
and it's already up
quick.
here. Trent Williams not ejected after punching a Sean Robinson.
You gotta be kidding me! They wasted no
That's
time.
already the headline.
But nobody wants to look at the whole thing so they can see everything that happened and why Trent did that.
I hope Shannon talk about it because if there's anybody that'll talk about both sides, it would be Shannon.
So here's something fun. Who thinks that Trace Willing is going to make it for another game on this
No, he out of here.
Trace Willing has back-to-back costly penalties in both games. I don't know if it's because he just don't get enough burn or what, but they clearly they clearly made him, and it's on special teams, and they clearly made him active. He's literally taking the place. All right, here's how it went. They signed Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown's going to take the active roster spot from Samuel Womack III, who's on the IR.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they promote Trace Willing, they release Anthony Brown, and Trace Willing takes that active roster spot. Then they bring up Shamar John Charles to take Ambry Thomas's spot. And then they promote Chris Conley to take Brandon Ayuk, to be an extra wide receiver. That's what happened. I'm with you. I don't see.
So now Anthony Brown is not with us?
Oh, no, he got released today.
What was the point of signing him then?
Maybe they just wanted to.
Didn't we at least bring him in for a physical and a conversation?
He got brought in he got signed, bro. What you mean? Did they bring him in for the physical? I'm hoping.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why didn't y'all do y'all due diligence, and why did y'all sign him only to release him a couple days later?
Maybe they didn't like him on the football field. Passing the physical was one thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Then practice is another thing.
Maybe he wouldn't give him no intel about the Cowboys.
Or maybe he wouldn't give him any intel about the
maybe
Cowboys.
That's it.
And they told him he could hit the road, Jack.
And then
he's
apparently
like that kind of person is like, oh no, I'm not gonna.
And then apparently we worked out Verrett and a couple other cornerbacks too.
About 4 or 5 other corners, bro.
Jesus.
If Jason Verrett is back on this team, if he's
listen, at least he knows the system.
He does know the system, and if he's healthy, oh man, that would be a bonus. But
And at this point, I'm willing to take a gamble on him because if he gets hurt again, which will knock on wood, I'm not wanting that to happen. But if he gets hurt again, then we'll just go back out to the street and get another. We bring in 6 corners a week, so you get a guy that you get a guy
just bring
he's been in this locker room before. The guys love him. They love his heart. They love his effort. They love his resiliency. They love his story. He's one of us. If he stays healthy, it's great. If he doesn't, all right, cool.
Wait a minute. So you know what? I'm glad this is the overreaction show. So you telling me that Shamar John Charles was better than Quantrez Knight? Nah, fuck that. Right. Because you wouldn't bring up Quantrez Knight.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's true.
That's crazy.
And who's been here for 2 years in the system. Crazy. You signed Jamal Charles this year. You let him go to Arizona. And you had a piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't be understanding.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't make sense.
I don't be understanding this stuff. What I do understand is we won the game. And we're 3-0. And we're in first place, and we got 10 days to chillax, do whatever, shoot the breeze, whatever. But what I want to do is I want to take a victory shot before people start going to bed and getting sleepy. This does not have to be a long show. I'm happy and ecstatic, but the best part of tonight.
Kelly, chill out. Oh, I thought he said something else.
The best part of tonight
Jameson.
For me.
Yeah.
Jameson. Oh, Deshaun Jameson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
I read it wrong at first. I put it up here because I thought he was being funny and said we shouldn't have cut Johnson.
Oh,
like
Dante Johnson?
It's late. It's late.
He ain't coming back. Dante ain't coming back.
Where's he at anyway?
I don't think he's not on the NFL roster as of right now. But guess what? They may be giving him a call. The Niners.
I'm surprised, yo.
I'll talk about the Niners.
I would not be surprised.
I want everybody out there to take a couple days off, go back and rewatch the game. Now that you know what happened, and kind of watch it with a different mind and look how the Giants. We talked about this on the preview show. The Giants. I asked Monty. I said, Monty, what are y'all gonna do? Oh, we gotta take away the run. Mm-hmm. Oh, so that means you're gonna put 7-8 people in the box? Yup. They had 7 to 9 people in the box with 2 DBs waiting for somebody to throw the ball. They zero blitz at least 80% of the time.
And what's funky is because we had the ball so much, Purdy threw 37 times, but we still ran the ball 39 times for 140
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, a bunch of
That's
I'm
crazy.
I'm a little tight that Christian McCaffrey didn't rush for 100 yards in this game,
Yeah.
and my fantasy's kind of effed up. But I wish he could have caught that. I wish he could have came in, reeled that pass touchdown
Yep.
in. But he
Yeah,
had
that
over.
would've been
Didn't he
tough.
have
I have mine, too.
85 rushing yards, 40,
And 34 receiver.
34 receiving? So I mean,
Yeah. But I
all-purpose
had
yards.
McCaffrey and the 49er defense on 2 of my leagues. So it actually they got me ahead a lot.
So yeah, that's 119. So
two
that's
together.
11. You count his 5 receptions in the PPR. 11 and
Yeah,
5 is
yeah.
16.
That-
Plus the touchdown. He got
me
22.
22
Not
points.
bad.
Yeah.
But I was playing against the Niners defense and Jake Moody, so he got a little edge on me.
And Moody consistently
speaking
been
of
getting
Moody-
12 a
let's
week.
talk about Moody. This
Speaking
of
this shot
Moody.
is for Moody. Let me tell y'all,
Money
3 for 3.
The receipts keep on
motherfucking
coming.
Moody.
So Jake Moody has been
Money.
3 for 3 in the first 3 games.
Yes, sir.
Is everybody calm and collected and comfortable now?
I don't think nobody tripping.
No.
I'm just asking.
And didn't he hit a 57
That was last
in the
week.
Rams game?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
saying
I don't
that.
think nobody tripping.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm not crowning him. I'm just saying,
He is
relax.
Saying
9 for 9
it's a good
for
start.
the last 3 games. 9
It's a good
for
start.
9.
Let's
It's a
keep
great.
it up.
Not
It's
missed
a
one.
great start. Let's hope his legs stay fresh. He's gonna
Yeah.
have a good 10 days off. Debo Samuel got dinged up in this game. You concerned?
No.
No.
He did come
It's
back
just,
in.
it's just the way he fell.
Yeah.
I think the way he fell with the ball, the pause. The ball is
It's an
hard.
object. Yeah. And so and to be fair, so was the
So
ground.
the way he and so is the ground.
Yeah.
That's what they were talking about with the new turf.
Mhm.
So I think it's just, he's running hard. He's already out of breath because he's fighting through tackles,
Yes.
giving 100%, 150% effort. I think just the way he hit the ground and the way he twisted, probably got the wind knocked out of him a little bit.
That's what it looked
He walked
like.
it off, stretched it out a little bit, came back
Okay.
later and caught a touchdown.
Shout
doing
out to CMC because he had to bully his way a lot.
So
Tonight
did so
through
did George
some-
Kittle.
Yeah.
I mean,
through-
everybody
through
was-
some
It was
some-
bully ball.
Can I give a
tonight.
shout out to
Stuff.
George Kittle?
It was bully ball tonight.
Mhm.
Can I give a shout out to George Kittle?
Of course you can.
My favorite play of the game was an incomplete pass by Brock Purdy
Okay.
that was almost intercepted.
Oh, and he
Oh,
batted
But
it away.
Kittle batted it away.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
here's what made it really, really good.
Woo.
After he batted it away, you see Kittle on the sideline doing the cornerback strap joint like that. So you see Kittle on the sideline after he batted away. Kittle goes, ah. That's what made that
Mhm.
play my favorite play of the game because he
Yeah.
did the straps because he had to turn into the DB
Yes,
and
sir.
knock it away so it wouldn't be a pick.
Yo,
And just on a serious note, when we talk about this team, when CMC talks about he had that clip where he says, shout out, no freak, shout out, wide receivers that block downfield. When we talk about people on this team, players on this team being unselfish, doing that one extra thing to help your teammate, him doing that saves a turnover for Brock Purdy, keeps the ball in the hands of your offense.
Mhm.
Like it's stuff like that
Yep.
that comes out later on in the season
yes.
when we're facing tougher opponents,
Yes.
when we're in that playoff stretch, when
Yep.
we're in the divisional round and we got the Cowboys in our home or
Yep.
the Eagles in our home. It's plays like that. It's effort plays like that that elevate you from being a good team or a great team to
Mm.
being a champion. So just the fact that he had the mindset to turn into a DB, knock the ball out of the way, and then he was still George Kittle doing a DB strap celebration, that was my favorite play of the game.
Yep.
We definitely got to talk about Ronnie Bell getting his first touchdown.
Hey,
Which-
yo.
I predicted that he was going to get a touchdown. I also
Now, I
predicted
didn't-
4 sacks from Bosa, but he only got 1. We'll talk about that next.
Now,
He
I
was
didn't
there,
pre-
though. He was there.
He was there
He
all
was
night.
held so much.
Gotcha.
He
that
was.
He just, I mean,
Ronnie Bell got to
presence.
get his flowers too, man. I didn't predict that he
Yes.
would get a touchdown, but I did call him as my dark horse in this game
Mm-hmm.
just because the way he's been playing, like the way he blocked the Kello Witherspoon last week, like it's stuff like that that Kyle loves.
Yep.
Kyle loves that stuff. So when you do stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to call your number.
Yep.
And what did Ronnie Bell do before his touchdown?
Mm-hmm.
He made a great freaking tackle on special teams.
Yes.
A solo tackle
Yeah.
on special teams by himself to pin them deep in their part of the field.
Yeah, that was
and
was
then
my
later
favorite.
in the game, Purdy throws a pass.
And that first down.
Adoree Jackson makes a great play on the ball. It pops up in the air,
Mhm.
and he's in the vicinity,
Yep.
focused, paying attention, and he turns what could have been an interception, or at very minimum an incompletion,
Mhm.
turns it into a catch for a first down.
Yep.
Ronnie, again, unselfish
Awareness.
play, making the play on special teams.
Very
The
aware.
block last week, awareness and focus to
Mhm.
see that ball pop up in the air
Yeah.
and go make the catch and get a first down for your team. And then what happens when you're in the red zone? Kyle dials up your number. You're
Mhm.
where you're supposed to be. You run the
Yep.
right route and you
And
get a
reward
touchdown.
you
I'm
with
so
a
happy for that
touchdown.
young man.
Yeah.
He's been balling out since training camp and preseason, and now it's paying dividends, man. I
Yeah.
love to see what's going on with Ronnie Bell right now.
Because on the opposite side, whatever number 23 was for the Giants, he must have been sleeping because Jan Jones threw the ball in, and
What's
he was
that?
not aware because he was unaware he was.
Keep talking. I'm curious to find out who 23 is. I'm not sure. It might have been one of the rookies, but Deontay, he ended up leaving the game.
Yeah.
Oh, Deontay Banks.
Deontay Banks left the game before the half and didn't return. So
But
I'm curious.
he
I'm
just
curious
stood
to
there.
know.
He's
Well,
25.
He's 25. So I'm gonna find out who 23 was. Give me a second.
It might have been the other cornerback.
I think
or
it
he
was number
27?
23. I think that was his number. He
23.
just
Is it 23 or
Jones
25?
was trying to throw him one, and he just it literally just bounced off his stomach.
Wait, who was trying to throw him one?
Danny Dimes was trying to.
Oh, so 23 is
throw
on
him one.
offense, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
23.
I thought you meant
Gary
the-
Brightwell, the running back. Gary.
Oh, the
Brightwell.
running back. Yeah.
But
that.
it
He
just,
was.
I was just talking about the contrast between, Bell being, alert and aware, and he
Gotcha.
Got it.
and Jones threw that to him. He just,
I thought you was
he
talking
bounced
about who was defending
Oh, no.
Bell,
Huh.
and I was trying to figure out if it was
Yeah.
the rookie, and that's dope to me because the rookies, they battled each other at Senior Bowl. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was a dope matchup. So if it was
That's
him,
cool.
that would have been real cool for Ronnie Bell to win that rep. And if
Yeah.
Ronnie Bell continues to block the way he's blocking, make
Mhm.
plays on special
Oh, yeah.
teams, and then when your number gets called, you win your one-on-ones. And like you said, Peachy, make those awareness plays.
Yep.
There was 2 tip drills in this game, and one ended with a catch, one ended with another catch on the defensive side for an interception.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? So
sir.
like the Niners,
Boy, huh?
Peachy, I think that's something that we could look that the 49ers team, in a sense, is just aware of their surroundings. And that's scary because you got rookies aware. Yeah, like that's something that we can kind of like tip our hat. And remember, this is still the beginning. And one thing you said earlier on the show, Peachy, was that Kyle Shanahan didn't really seem to be in his bag. It was because he didn't have to be in his bag. He didn't have to pull out a bag. Kyle Shanahan's job, game plan, run the ball. I want to see how effectively I can run the ball. Because if Kyle could run the ball 50 times a game, he will
He's
run the
gonna do
ball
it.
50 times a
He's
game.
going to do it.
And so when the Giants made the adjustment, started stacking the box, trying to take away the run, remember, Christian McCaffrey first play was a run. It was 5 yards. I'm like, oh, this dude about to average 5 yards a carry. And then Kyle hit us with the winky dinky and put in Elijah Mitchell. And I'm like, finally, yo, like this dude finally woke up. And then we saw some Jordan Mason. Always at the last 2 to 3 minutes of the game. But we got some Jordan Mason in there. So like, Kyle's gonna always try to test the waters. Can I run the ball? Well, the first set of plays are gonna be scripted. Kyle's trying to get a touchdown on that first series, every time. It's the scripted plays. After that, he's just gonna run the ball and take what the defenses give him. And I think that's something to pay attention to. The 49ers players are aware on special teams with the heads up play by Ronnie Bell, with that making that tackle, because all that dude had to do was break. Ronnie Bell came out of nowhere from that side and filled his lane as a gunner and pop.
He did.
You know what I mean? And then on offense, you get you get the awareness plays. And then on defense, you get the awareness plays. So this team, regardless of how it looked, how ugly it looked, how sloppy it looked, the sloppiness for me was all the damn penalties, man. I hate undisciplined football.
Yeah.
We got to be better than that.
Yeah.
Because the season is going to only get stronger. It's going to get tougher.
Oh, yeah.
Teams are going to start coming into their own. The Niners got to continue to find ways to gel. They got to pray that they keep no injuries or injuries to a minimum. Like, it's a lot of stuff that the 49ers are going to have to do. You know what I'm saying? So they got a long plate ahead of them, but the good thing is they get some rest. And so since they get to rest, we're going to take a shot. If you guys want to take a victory shot with us, go ahead and do so. I'm going to do this coconut rum because that's what I had in the refrigerator. Mose, you sipping water tonight?
I am.
The only 3-0 team.
Guys, get y'all shots ready to the victors because the first 10 points came from Michigan players. Hail to the victors, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Do I got to do this whole thing? Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Tastes like a cupcake. Woo, sugar. Look, we should be happy. I know there's a lot of stuff we want to talk about. It's a lot of things we want to overreact. I think we talked about everything. We talked about the good. We talked about the bad. Let's do some super chat contributions, and then let's do final thoughts. We'll get up out of here, all right? Marcus Bailey, the NFL teams on notice. Oh, snap. One without BA. You could tell he was missing today. Like,
you can definitely tell it.
Definitely.
Man, Brock was trying to force that ball to Debo.
Yes.
Debo had like 12 targets for 4 catches or something, man. I was like, stop forcing it to him.
Yes.
Cousin Sid was yelling at me like it was my fault that BA wasn't there and that our offensive passing game, like Sid was in the chat yelling at me like, I'm like, Sid, I'm not calling the plays, bro.
That's funny. So you're trying to say, oh, my bad, Kylie. You trying to say that basically you put in the call and told Kyle Shanahan to sit Brandon Ayuk. He didn't need him. Yeah. I got you.
You're right. Debo did have 12 targets.
How many catches though?
6.
Damn, that's bad.
129 and 1.
I mean, the numbers are good, but that's 50%.
Yeah.
And please don't, people in the chat, please do not say that the 49ers are fine without Brandon Ayuk, because we are not. We literally played a depleted, and I mean, as the game went on, the Giants got more depleted as it came along. So definitely will welcome Ayuk back for the Cardinals game and hopefully every game after that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they're fine without Brandon Ayuk, but they can still find ways to win. Like, the Niners have way too many weapons. And again, this Giants team, they just blitzed. Like, they remind, I expect the Arizona Cardinals to do the same thing. Who's the Arizona Cardinals defensive coordinator?
I don't even know.
Jonathan Gannon. He came from Philly.
Oh, that's right.
I expect them to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why? They ain't got nothing to lose.
They don't. Now the only thing is
they don't have
because
the depth.
he's a young head coach and he doesn't have the talent.
Yeah.
He can try to implement that same game plan that he did in Philly. Might backfire on him.
Which is what Kyle is probably going to look to see if that's what's going to happen. But here's the thing. But here's the cool thing, right? We watched our team have to defend. I don't want to say defend, but have to go against that blitz all the time, and we were able to be successful. So when you play Arizona, they're gonna play hard, right? They're gonna come out
Oh, of
hard. They're gonna
course.
give it all they got for the first 2 quarters,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But the thing is, the Niners just got to continue to find ways to stay on course. And I'm sorry, like if Elijah Mitchell is coming back into like his own of who he is,
Mm-hmm.
because he finished the game with pretty decent yardage,
Yeah.
right? If he's coming back
He's
into his
pretty good.
own, that's only gonna help the 49ers like in the run game in the future, right? Because now you can stay fresh. Now you can have a fresh rotation. You know what I'm saying? These running backs coming in and out. I don't think Christian McCaffrey, to be honest with you, ever wants to come out the game. I
He
think
never wants to.
he never
He
wants
gets
to come out.
mad whenever he
I
has
thought I
to.
saw that too tonight. I thought I
Yeah.
saw Christian McCaffrey get pissed the
He
freak
gets
off.
upset. He does
Yeah.
not want to come out. Like he wants
Yeah.
to be in there like the whole entire game.
But I think, like I said, if you get that monster connection working, oh man. And you remember the last time what Elijah Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey did in Mexico City to the Arizona Cardinals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next week is gonna be crazy. Whenever we
Yep.
play again, I'm just far from now, but it's gonna be crazy. Master Anycraft, thank you so much for the super chat contribution. If you're still watching the show and you want to give a take or whatever, we'll kindly read it on the air. All right, we got 2 from For Life Niner. He says, "I believe that was a safety for Nick Bosa." So somebody tell me how that wasn't a safety, because Nick Bosa was tackling him. Daniel Jones never created some type of forward progress with the ball, and he was in the end zone. So how is that not a safety?
Somebody
Because
said.
his
Oh, never mind.
go
Go
ahead,
ahead, Mo.
Peachy. No, you got it.
No. You may know exactly. So go ahead.
Okay, so when Bosa hits him, that is technically when his forward progress stops. So Bosa gets to him and wraps him up, and his forward progress stops before
He gets
he's
into
in the end zone.
At the 1
So
yard
now
line,
when
I think
Bosa
that they were
hits
saying
him,
at the 1 yard line.
so when Bosa hits him and then the momentum carries you into the end zone, it's not considered a safety.
Yeah.
So like if Daniel Jones was like running and tried to escape and then ran into the end zone and then he was tackled, it would be a safety. But because Bosa's initial contact happened outside of the end zone,
Yeah.
and it was only the momentum of the hit that carried him into the end zone, that's why it's not a safety, because technically Daniel Jones' forward progress was stopped before he was in the end zone.
So if Bosa would have just strong pushed him and he fell, that would have been a safety? If he fell in the end zone?
No.
So if
Because wherever he makes contact at, so if he pushes him, if that contact comes when Daniel Jones is in front of the goal line and not in the end zone, and that push makes his momentum carry him into the end zone, it's still not a safety.
So
He would have to be in the end zone first and then be brought down, but he would have to be in the end zone of his own doing. Like him, if he did a 7-step drop and he was just standing there, or if he tried to break a sack and ran into the end zone and then got tackled. But as long as that contact happens outside of the end zone, that's where they're going to say the forward progress will stop once the defender makes contact.
Makes perfect sense. All right. For Life Niner also says Thursday Night Football / the WWE is scripted. We were talking about this because when the flag started coming, they were raining.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then they started to even themselves out with the defensive holds on them and things like that. So it was pretty well. I'm curious to know what would have made this game seem scripted other than the flags, because like I said, the number of flags evened out at 6. It was a push, but the yardage was way different.
Let me ask you guys this. What did you think of the roughing the passer call on Brock? Because a lot of people are mad about it.
Well, I could get why they're mad, because technically it was a tackle.
Yeah.
But the rule states it's the ruling, right?
If you put your weight,
like
if
don't like I don't
your body weight.
I don't get why they fucking want to bring that up. Like if that's the rule, it's the fucking rule. Like at the end of the day, that's the rule.
That's the rule. Now, I said it on
I
my
don't like
live.
the rule.
I hate the fucking rule.
Right.
Because Leonard Williams had a clean win on his pass rush.
Yo,
he got to Brock Purdy, and there was nothing malicious about what he did.
Yeah.
Leonard Williams is a 6'5",
Mm-hmm.
325-pound man. Brock Purdy is 6'1", barely scratching 200.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck else was he supposed to do?
It's just a rule.
I hate the rule, but that's the rule.
Right.
And when you land on somebody with your body weight like that, they have a propensity to throw the flag because that's what the rule is.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, I hate the rule. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
This is football. People get hurt every day, B. But it is what it is.
Right. And it's going to happen. And Felicia's right. Nick Bosa got called for that. I remember. I'm like, why is that? Like, that's not a sack. No, it was a penalty. Mm-hmm. They're going to call it. So, as a defensive lineman, it's to the discretion of the refs. If you just gotta do it. I wouldn't tell them to change it because I don't know how you could change that up. Do you fall to the side? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's the dumbest rule. That's my point.
Stupid. It's the Aaron Rodgers rule. It's because Anthony Barr fell on him 1 year with his body weight.
That's right.
And it broke Aaron Rodgers' collarbone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because his collarbone was kind of okay.
So it's basically just like there's the tuck rule because of Brady and all that other shit. That this rule is the Aaron Rodgers rule. They're just finding more ways to make sure that quarterbacks don't get injured so that they're not out for the season, and it mess up what the ratings and team outcomes because it's usually the elite quarterbacks that go down. It's never it's never the Geno Smiths or the Josh Dobbs or the Kenny Pickett's. Yeah. It's always the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers, the Joe Burrows that get these crazy hits and then they're out for the season. So that's the Aaron Rodgers rule.
Look, all I'm saying is I don't like the rule. Is the hit clean? It was a clean hit.
Right.
Let's talk about Leonard Williams beating the shit out of. Was that on Brindle? I can't remember who that was.
It was either Brindle or Banks.
It was Banks.
I know it was from the inside.
No. It was Banks. I know it was Banks because I tweeted Banks got beat on that rep.
Mm-hmm.
It was Banks for people, but it won't count against him because it was a penalty.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
Right.
So technically, Banks still hasn't given up a pressure.
No. Or a sack. No.
Or a sack.
Yeah. Hurricanes got that one. The flag on the punt that wasn't a flag. He didn't even touch him.
What I missed that one.
I hate that. That was the one that was on Shamar Jean-Charles, where the guy caught it.
Oh no, they thought he touched him. So to the refs,
and he tried to get out of the way.
Well, he did.
But so here's my thing. Here's what I said, and
but it's still interference.
I think both of y'all appreciate this as basketball fans. I think the NFL needs to institute a rule, and we've been talking about rules all night. But just how the NBA has that new rule where you can't kick your feet out when you shoot a three to draw foul.
Yeah.
Like if you call a fair catch and you see a defender coming, if they're trying to get out the way, you can't run into that guy to force the flag on a fair catch interference.
Right.
That's true.
So just how the NBA changed that rule where you can't kick your leg out to get a phantom foul call so you can shoot 3 foul shots. They need to do the same thing on the punt return in the NFL.
I agree. And that's so unfair and a disadvantage to the hustle guy, which is usually the guy trying to get down there to crack the mess out of the returner, right?
This guy's running full speed 50 yards down the field to get to him.
Yeah.
And you want me to stop on a dime because he's moving erratically trying to find where this ball is?
Or institute a rule where they have to make the fair catch signal earlier or something, right? Because it was a late fair catch, and it's a quick one, like a half wave.
Right.
I'm not seeing that.
Yeah. Then he should have stood still.
Or you can wait for the fair catch.
What you done called the fair catch, like you need to stand. Like why are you moving?
Oh, because you don't want to get hit. That's why. Down? But you can waive the fair catch and still get out the way. So if you feel like there's a defender about to come, they trying to draw that flag.
Of course they are, because he's trying. But he was trying to make sure that he got contact, so that.
But there was no contact.
You would get in trouble.
There was no contact.
No, what
Shamar
I'm saying is that's what his intent was. His intent was
understood, but my
to try
point
to draw
was,
contact.
my point is the refs fucked up. That's my
Of course
point.
they did. Yeah.
There was no contact.
No.
Now, we saw that on the replay, but to their eye,
Yeah.
it was interference
Yeah.
because he was too close.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just a lot of rules. But you know what? If you're gonna play the sport, I'm gonna be stickler to say you gotta learn the rules because it be them little things. Somebody said something to me one time, and I think this is where they drew the conclusion of what the NFL is. You know, the reason why. Oh, it wasn't somebody. I was listening to like Ed McCaffrey and them dudes on Sirius XM, and they were like the difference between college and the NFL are the rules. And it was like if when you make it to the pros, you have to learn the rules. NFL is a business. It's all about entertainment and making money. That's why there's so many different types of rules interpreted into there. Um, Chrissy says she thinks the leg. You could be 100% right. If I didn't see a leg hit, I will watch it again. I thought that they called the body hit, but what he did was it looked like the body connected, and he pulled his chest back, so they never touched on the replay. They didn't touch. But if it was a leg, I didn't pay attention to the leg. So you might be right. So I don't want to say you guys are wrong. I wasn't paying attention to the leg. They only showed the upper torso on the TV anyway. So
Whatever.
No, she's right. Their legs did connect.
oh, then
Yeah.
that's the
But
interference.
that was more initial. That's why I said about changing the rule,
Yeah.
because that was initiated by the receiver,
Right.
not the defender.
Oh, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
So like he made sure.
Yeah, so
that
they did
touched.
make contact, but it was the receiver who fair called it.
He drew the contact, is what you're saying.
He drew the
Move.
contact.
He initiated.
Yeah.
He
the
went
contact.
into Gene Charles to
Of course he
ensure
did.
that he got the
Yeah.
flag, which is
Yeah.
why I said they should do like the NBA.
Yeah.
If you try to kick your
With that
your
kick
leg
out.
out to get a
Mhm.
foul, you're not going to get it anymore.
I'm so glad that they're doing that too.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, Niners got a lot they got to clean up. They were able to get this dub with a depleted Giants team. How wrong was I about all the predictions on the show earlier with Mike? Daniel Jones was going to have more fantasy points. He was going to have more throwing yards. You know why I said that, though? Because I really thought the Niners were going to be up by like 40. And he had no choice but to throw the ball. That was my theory. So I was wrong. All the way wrong.
I mean, listen, they had no choice but to throw the ball anyway because they only ran 11 times
Right.
for 29 yards.
Yeah, they could.
That run
couldn't
defense
run the
was
ball.
solid.
I think the
I was
Niners.
shocked because the announcers kept waiting for Hyatt to get more involved and for Danny Dimes to just try to take shots down the field. Like he literally did not take shots.
Oh, Hyatt doesn't even have a target listed.
Right. He just didn't.
The Niners are
Crazy.
currently ranked, and I know that they kicked off week 3 in the NFL, but they're currently ranked second in rush defense in the league. Currently ranked second. They're 50. They give up an average of 53 yards per game, yo.
It's awesome.
Fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
53 yards per game. Now, the Eagles are 1. We'll see what happens on Sunday, but I think that's amazing. Like the Niners could be 1 on Sunday, or they can be less than 3. We'll see what happens, but I just wanted to put that out there. They 53 yards. Now Tampa Bay is a close right behind them by one extra yard. So the Tampa Bay is only giving up 54. So we'll see what Philly and Tampa does on Sunday. And then you got the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans, which are at like 65 yards per game. So we'll see what happens depending on their matchups. But the Niners defense is different this year.
Yeah.
Because of the coaching and the coordinating. But man, is it me or they're just smarter this year? Like they have the ability to adjust.
Yeah.
Is it because those young players are no longer young anymore? Because they are adjusting.
Yeah. They are. Yeah, they can look crazy for just a little bit, but when that starts hitting, man, it's just on. It's just great once they make the adjustments and they figure everything out. And we just dominate defensively. That's what we do.
Okay, so 49er Jeff, this is my dude, yo. He ain't shit though. Let me tell you why he not shit. Cause he know why he not shit. Cause this is why he put this stuff here. Mimi B on the No Harm No Foul show,
Mm-hmm.
and there was one other person. I think it was Chrissy, 1687.
Yeah.
They said that Daniel Jones' all-purpose yards would be, I think Mimi was like 125.
Mhm.
And I think Chrissy was like one. Chrissy, what did you say? 130. I love y'all. I love you. You could always tell me when I'm wrong. And we came out there and was like, man, he gonna have more than that. He's gonna throw the ball. His all-purpose yards. This is why I say he ain't shit. He wanted to call me out. His all-purpose yards was 142. And then you predicted that the score would be 30-13. I said 34-13. The score was 30-12. You were super close.
Yeah.
Super close. And yes, Anthony, Madden had Jones with 500 yards. That Madden was on crack. I don't know what that Madden was.
Madden was on some bullshit.
Yeah. It really was.
That's why I like doing those things. So far, when the Niners lose in Madden, we win in real life.
I love it.
And when the Niners win in Madden, we win in real life. So let that shit sink in.
So it don't matter what.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's my point. People
Breezy
like
been trying to run away from his Madden curse for
no. Kylie like
seasons
I
now.
can't watch the Maddens no more, Breezy, because I just can't watch them no more. Bro, we've been winning. We 3-0. Whether they lose or win, we win.
Yo, Breezy been trying to run away from his Madden curse for 3 iterations of the game now.
All right.
Hey, look. This thing
The
got
first
me
time we lose, we're gonna blame it on your Madden.
Absolutely, you're gonna blame it on me. I'm here. I'm about that life. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Oh man,
I'm ready. But guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Listen, we'll be back. Nitty Gritty Niners will be back on Monday. The Wayne Breezy Show will be tomorrow. John Chapman will be here with me. I believe he was at the game. We'll get his takes, his experiences, what he saw out there on the football field. And then you guys can have a great weekend, and just no Niner football. We can actually watch football and talk trash about 30 other teams. Like literally where it won't face us for a while. So let's have some fun this weekend, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channels. Make sure you guys are locked in. Make sure you guys alerts are set to on and all. We truly appreciate it. Did we finish reading the contributions? Nope. Jax says 3 down and 14 more to go. Let's go 17-0. Yo, it's a long way from 17-0, but we 3-0 and I'll take it.
Yep.
We 3-0 and I'll take it, Jack. So Foghorn to you. And then our guy Fernando, 49ers throwback. Appreciation. Thanks for all your shows. Keep it up. Go Niners. We appreciate you too, Fernando. Thank you for touching down with us. All right here on the Overreaction Show. Guys, I had a blast. Play Tech Mobile. Is there still Tech Mobile? They still make this? Because I will play it. Trust me. I mean, I missed the little 8-bit figures or whatever or whatnot. But any final thoughts, y'all, so we can get on up out of here, man. That drink kind of got me right.
Yeah, me too.
I'm good.
I've been drinking for a while. Okay.
Peachy, you want to close out with anything?
Thank everybody in chat for chilling with us, listening to us, guys. We're 3-0, and we're the only team that's 3-0 until Sunday.
Bam! That's a bomb. Hold up, that's the Peachy bomb. 3-0. First team to 3-0.
Right.
Let that sink in. They better fear us now. Now you should fear us. Okay,
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Let's relish it and have some fun with it. And shout out to everybody who shouts us out in the chat. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us, be it contribution or just being a part of the Breezy Brunch or just showing up in the chat and subscribing and hanging out with us on our shows that we have. Really appreciate it. Like Breezy said, the Wayne Breezy Show will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. with John Chapman to do an official recap and everything. So enjoy it, guys. We got 10 days before the next game.
10. It's the 10 crack commandments. We out, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Hey,
Breezy, gritty, this that 9
Mo's nose. Peachy, fair to gone. It's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, Peachy, Breezy, and fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to talk. We two gorilla, silverback, nah, silver
You know it's
hawks.
busting the discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's nose, and fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
We outline players up in chalk.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.